Namaste. Yoga Steps is here for you today with a sequence that really helped me to improve my balance poses. So it's not going to be too long, and the only thing you need for this sequence today is if you have a block, a very steady block. I have a cork block here. It might be good to have a cork block nearby. Don't worry if you don't have a block, you just could simply take the video close to a stair and just stand on the lower stair and do the exercises we are doing later on the stair. And it would also helpful if you either have a chair or maybe something you can hold on, being nearby a table, anything that makes the balance, working on the balance pose a little bit more safe for you. So then meet me in standing. Feel both feet on the floor. Have a nice hip width stand, feet parallel, shoulders relaxed. Just for a moment, notice your body. See if the weight is equally distributed to both feet. And then slowly start shifting from side to side. Shift your weight to the right and to the left. And also shift the weight back and forth. See how far you can go, play around a little bit here. And start shifting the weight to the side, forward, to the other side and back. Small circles, and notice how you change where you put the weight on your feet. But don't lift the feet. Keep the feet on the floor and then reverse and go all the way to the other side. And then slowly come back to the center. Now I want you to move your weight back into your heels. Keep your toes on the floor, but really feel that you're leaning a little bit more into your heels. Shift all the way to the right. You even can see my whole body is shifting a little bit to the right. And now shift the weight on the heel a little bit more to the outer edge. And now lift your inner arch and see how you feel. Notice how you bring more weight to the outer edge of the foot and lower it down. Lift the inner arch and lower it down. Keep your weight back into the heel and keep your weight more to the outer right heel. And you're lifting and lowering the inner arch. Do this one more time. And then stay here, shift your weight back a little bit more to the center of the right heel, and then shift the weight a little bit more to the inner right heel. But don't try to come too much with the weight back to the left foot. So the weight is still a little bit more lean over to the right, but you're leaning more to the inner right heel now. And now you lift the outer arch and you lower it down. Lift the outer arch, lower it down. Lift the outer arch and down. See how far you can lift and notice how the inner arch gets closer to the floor each time you lift the outer edge of your foot. One more time and relax. And just bring the weight equally to both feet and see if you notice maybe a difference how the right foot is now in contact with the floor compared to the left foot. Now we do the whole sequence to the left side. You want to lean back into your heels first. Shift a little bit more to the left, whole body. Shift a little bit more to the back of your left heel, to the outer edge of your left heel. Lift the left inner arch and lower it down. And lift and lower down. Lift the inner arch and notice how you bring more weight, more contact to the outer edge of the foot. Keep on lifting the inner arch and lower it down. And lift. And down, do this one more time. Now slowly shift the weight a little bit more to the inner left heel. You keep your weight more on the left side. And you notice when you shift a little bit more to the inner left heel, how the inner arch of the left on the left side is also comes a little bit closer to the floor. Now you can lift the outer edge and you lower it down. You lift the outer edge of your left foot. Keep your weight in the heel, but keep it a little bit more towards the left. And lower, and lift, and lower. And do this 2 more times. You lift and you lower and you lift and lower it down. Now bring the weight back to both feet and just notice for a moment how you're standing now on the floor. And now we come back to the right foot. You lift the right heel as much as you can. You lean a little bit forward. My left leg is straight, my right leg is bent, and you push the toes and the ball of the toes down. Balance poses, standing poses, they all start on the feet. How you bring your feet down onto the floor, how you stand on your feet. So it's really nice to get a little bit more awareness into the feet and how you shift your weight on the feet. Where are you leaning? Where's your weight? And these small movements, they help to bring the weight into the right points. And then lower down, or let's say that it helps to wake the points up. And then bring your weight awareness to the left side and lift the left heel. Push the left toes down, push the ball of the left toes down. Left knee is bent, my right leg is straight. Notice if maybe one side feels a little bit easier than the other side. If you feel a big difference, you maybe always want to stay a little bit longer on one side than on the other side. The side it's easier, make it a little bit shorter, and the side it feels harder, you can make it a little bit longer. Now lower down. And then close your eyes for a moment again. Notice how you stand. Feel the heels. Shift a little bit back, lean back without losing the weight that's towards the front of the foot. A little bit lift the inner arch, and notice when you lift the inner arches how you bring more contact along the outer edge of your foot down to the floor. And now lift and spread your toes and bring all the toes back down onto the floor. But keep the inner arches lifted. You don't want to collapse to the inside, so you have this engagement along the inner legs. And now with this awakened feet, let's practice one pose. You want to use the chair for this. Place a chair or maybe hold onto a table, whatever you have nearby. And I like to place my hands just on the chair. And we first start with crossing the right leg behind the left leg. So there's a little bit distance between the right and left foot. Just see how far you can cross the right leg behind the left leg. And then you start to bend the knees and straighten. And you bend and straighten. And you bend and straighten the legs. Notice how this feels. Notice where there's maybe any tension. Always nice to listen so you get a feedback where you have maybe the spots in your body you have to work on a little bit. Next time your legs are bent, stay there. You want to step back with the left foot a little bit more. Align the left foot. Notice your left heel on the floor, the outer edge, the toes. Wrap the left leg a little bit more around the right leg and then come all the way up. Pull the belly in. Find your balance. Come all the way up to stand. If you can wrap your left foot around the back of your right lower leg. And you really want to squeeze the legs together. You lift the right leg towards the left leg and the left leg is pushing back. Makes one strong leg. Notice your right foot. Don't collapse towards your inner arch. The heel distributes the weight equally with the outer edge and the toes and the ball of the toes. Even you maybe feel you're being wobbly here a little bit. Breathing in and out. Come all the way up. Stand and shake your legs out. And let's do this to the other side. Find your hand on the chair. This time you step back with your left foot. Just see how far you can cross the left leg behind the right leg. And you bend both knees and straighten. And see if there's a difference between one side and the other side. Maybe one side feels a little bit easier. Maybe you feel the calf muscles a little bit more on one side than on the other side. They can get really tight. And sometimes we even hold a little bit of stress here on the calf muscles. Next time when you bend your knees, stay here. Step the left foot a little bit forward. Feel the left heel on the floor, the outer edge of your left foot and the toes. And then just wrap your left leg a little bit more around your right leg. Come into your fingertips. Push the legs together and then you come up. If you can wrap your left foot behind the right lower leg, Garudasana. But you really want to engage. pushing the right leg down, lifting the left leg up, kind of really making from two legs really one stable leg. And notice your left foot. Don't collapse towards your inner arch. Lift your inner arch. Notice the weight on the outer edge. Your toes, ball of your toes, heels. And then come all the way down. You uncross your legs and you just shake your legs out. So you can place the chair to the side. We don't need it anymore. And for the next movement I want to show you, you either want to use the block or you just make sure that you have a stair nearby so you can stand on a stair. So what we do is, if you have a block, you're taking the block, we're starting with the left leg. So you want to position the left foot on the block. And if you don't have a block, remember, you can just stand on a stair. So the right leg can dangle. So this is the important part here. What shouldn't happen is you're leaning into your hips here. So you want to push your left hip towards the center. And again, notice your feet here. Is your inner arch lifted or do you collapse to the inside? You really want to bring a little bit of lifting into your inner arch here. And then we're just dangling the right leg. Okay, have your arms out to the side. Whatever feels most comfortable for your arms, or maybe it's also helping you with balance. And then keep your leg still and just flex your foot like you're standing. And if I would bring my leg in, my feet are touching, so I have the same height, my hips are balanced. And now what you do, think about you have a button under your right foot and you press the button without bending the left knee and you lift up. You press the button and you let it go. You press the button and you let it go. You press and let it go. You press and let it go. And press down, come back to neutral, where we started, and press and back to neutral. Keep it here, and now you lift the hip up and down. You lift up and down. You lift up, notice how the left leg really gets on fire. Working on the left leg. Notice if you have a hard time with balance, you maybe want to hold on to something. One more time, lifting up. And then you release all the way down. Just for a moment, stand on both feet. Notice how your hips are feeling. You can circle the hips a little bit. If this helps to ease tension, it just feels nice. Good. You want to do the other side. So you step with your right foot either on the block or on your stair. Come onto the block. Notice you don't want to lean like this. You push your hip to the center. And then you take the left leg and you just dangle the left leg. Notice where you want to, check where you want to bring your arms. So it helps you with balancing in this pose. Just get any tension. You also could shake the leg if this feels nice. So it's not really whatever feels best in your body. So we didn't shake on the other side. So we don't do it on this side. But it's an option you can add to if you like. I have a tiny micro bend in my right knee. And now I'll come to stillness, flex my foot, and when I bring my feet together, they're on the same level. Now I push the button, I keep my right leg straight, and I let it go. I push the button under my, imaginary button under my left foot. You push, oops, and you let it go. And sometimes you lose your balance, but that's okay. That's the reason why we're doing these poses, to strengthen all the areas we need for a good balancing pose. This side is my weaker side today. And then come back to neutral. Now you want to think about lifting the hip and letting it go. Lifting and let it go. You lift and let it go. You lift the hip, let it go. Lift and let it go. Lift. 2 more times, let it go. I can feel my right leg starts to be very active. And then step down, both feet, and just circle the hips. This is really something you can do during the day whenever you have time. Even when you have a block, you could brush your teeth while standing with one leg on a block and then just set yourself a timer so you do the same time for the other leg as well. So it's really something that's really nice to integrate just whenever you have time. We all have maybe stairs sometimes. And just standing for a while, just on a stair step without doing the lifting of the hip, and just dangling the leg is a really nice way to get into the hip, but also strengthen the leg that's holding the position up. From here, we do one last balance pose. So you want to bring your hands together in front of your heart. And you can choose. You can choose if you want to do the tree pose with the toes being on the floor and the sole of your right foot being on the left inner ankle. You can choose if you want to bring the right foot on the inside of your lower leg. Or you can, maybe if you like, bring the heel, oops, told you my balance is not so good today, all the way to the inner groin, pushing, kind of sticking it together and doing a high tree pose. So whatever works best for you. The left leg is engaged, the muscles are pulling into the bone. My left inner arch is lifted. I feel my foot, I have completely contact to my foot. And you can have the arms out to the side in front of your heart, or maybe being up. I'm just healing from a shoulder injury, so I'm keeping my left arm down. And you really want to press the right foot into the leg, and the leg is kind of a little bit of resisting. Notice how you feel. Maybe you feel the difference. Sometimes the magic happens immediately, and then you come down. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Shake it out. And then decide on the other side. So what do you want to do? Want to have the toes down? Want to have the foot up? So this is also just a nice option. It doesn't mean if you bring the leg all the way up, doesn't mean the pose is less. You also have the work on your standing leg. You have the opening in the hip. You have the same engagement, pushing the right foot into the left foot, the left foot into the right leg, and the right leg is kind of resisting this pushing, and you're engaging the muscles of your right leg to the bone. Have your arms out to the side. Feel the balance. Can have your hands also here if this helps, or you can have both arms up. Like I told you, I'm not doing this with my left arm today. Breathe. And you don't want to lean into your hip here. That's really the same movement. You get into the center, and you really can feel how this is shifting the weight also on the foot. Don't collapse. Keep your inner arch lifted. And then relax. Open your feet again and just do some nice hip circles. If you have the time, you can check out one of my other videos, maybe a nice restorative video to lay down. Maybe you want to do a little bit more of an active video. Just scroll through my videos. For this class, we are not doing a Shavasana, so if you feel you want to do a Shavasana, feel free and lay down for a moment. And if you have questions, any comments, please leave them just beneath the video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you like my channel, I try to grow my first 100 subscribers. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button. So every time when you hit the bell button, it means when I'm posting a new video, you're getting an email. And don't worry, I'm not messing your inbox up with thousands of emails. I'm posting around about each second week a video in German and a video in English. Place your hands together in front of your heart. Namaste, and thank you very much for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, Yogi.